What's up, Seekers? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are brand new here, man, you guys don't know what we do, don't worry. I'm gonna break it down for you guys. We talk about the most scariest and creepiest videos on the net, on the web. That's gonna make us question everything. Everybody sit back, put on your thinking caps. That's what we do best, Seekers. Say it with me, y'all. Let's seek the truth.
Please tell me you see the correlation that I see, because where there is a cave system, there is a Bigfoot sighting. Now, mind you, most of these caves are controlled by the federal government. They control about 4,700 documented caves in this country. That's only about 10% of the cave system even explored, right? Mammoth Cave in Kentucky is like 486 miles that we know of. It keeps going. We don't know what is down in this cave system, so it's completely possible Bigfoot is down in that cave system. You know what I'm saying? If he's down there in that cave system, who's to say there's not portals down there in that cave system that can take him from one spot to the next? I just don't know where these portals go. That's my next question. But as far as the national parks being created to control this or to monitor this, I want you to understand that in 1870 there was a Bigfoot sighting in California. 1872 the national parks were created. That's all I'm going to say on that topic. The other layer to this is the missing people inside national parks, because you bet your ass it matches up to these two maps as well. I feel like I'm tugging at a thread that might get me in trouble.
Please. I didn't even know they own the cave systems, bro. What the heck? That's a new piece of info, man. I just learned, picked up on. She said 1870 there was a Bigfoot sighting, and then they formed that, the cave system like 2 years later. Why is that?
Spray it, then it spreads, then we breathe it in.
Those trails, man.
Spray, then it spreads. And the rest. It's all around us, all in our air. This is real.
You guys want to see something cool? Watch this.
Okay. The hell?
Now, if I tell you what I think this is, I'll probably lose my 100th account, but I'm here to tell you that this does exist, and they're not going to joke. Why? Maybe this pertains to a frequency war. Maybe this pertains to the fact that everything is energy and frequency, and the things going through the air can be a lot more dangerous than the things that you can see. And that's just a fact.
On fire.
This door pops open like that. How much energy is being directed as a weapon at this red car? Now ask yourself, if the car was blue, if it would have the same effect. Maybe, maybe not. But man, oh man, I'm here to tell you, they don't want this getting out. They don't want people knowing about it.
This is insane. Got Hawaii in the water, bro. Omaha, man. Not a lot of other people are even talking about that, bro. Which is crazy. I found out through clips, man. Through the clips I've been finding for you guys. If I didn't do this, I wouldn't know what would be going on in the world, man. And we got the Nebraska wildfire too, which is insane, man. There's so many acres of land.
You guys need to be careful. My rental car company is trying to steal $600 from me because they have scanners, AI scanners now, that's finding nothing but still trying to charge me. Check this out.
Renters drive through an archway of 360-degree cameras that instantly capture thousands of high-resolution images of every angle of the car, even the undercarriage. Then artificial intelligence compares the images from pickup and drop.
And when I was in Portland, I rented from a company called Sixt, S-I-X-T, and they have these same exact scanners, and I did not think to actually take a picture and photograph the entire video, the entire thing. This is an email I got from Sixt. Damaged case. BMW X3, and it says, regarding the damage sustained to the rental, please settle the outstanding balance by this date. I haven't paid yet, but let's look at the damage. Now, the damage, they said, was to the wheel of this car on the passenger side. Now, you would think, man, this has to be a lot of damage. Let me see. Now, here's the damage that they had. Now, here's the same image zoomed in. Now, you can see there is nothing here in this image. There's nothing here. There's no damages. They sent me an email. Now they want to charge me $600.
Hell no.
Here's the email I got. I covered up some of the sensitive information, like our claim number and everything. But $596 from Sixt Rental Car. And this isn't just Sixt. I'm here at the airport right now in Las Vegas, and we are returning a car. We just went on a golf trip. It was super awesome. This time we rented through budget, and we walked the entire car with our camera, videotaped everything,
Smart.
pictures, everything, and then we went through the AI scanners. This is Las Vegas airport, and then we came back and went through the AI scanners as well. Definitely what I suggest is that you make sure that you record video all throughout your car, take pictures of everything. I'm going to try to find it. Hopefully I'm not going to have to pay it, but I got the insurance with my credit card. Hopefully that works, but be careful out there renting cars. Probably go with Turo.
Bro, you can't even rent cars now, man. With that AI messing it up, bro. Like, they realize the company's trying to squeeze you out of everything, man. Did y'all see the damage due to that car? Because I did not. Trying to charge them $600 for that, bro. That company was called Sixt. I guess if we're renting cars, we won't be doing that, Seekers. Noted. You're getting a lot of strange sightings this year, bro, over the sky. Like, what the hell is that?
I am sick to my stomach about this. If you chew gum, please watch this video.
Let's make your favorite chewing gums at home. Most popular chewing gum today is made from plastic. The same type of synthetic rubber you find in tires, industrial adhesives, and sealants. We're going to isolate the exact compound from this old tire, let it dissolve in industrial solvent, then react and precipitate it with sulfuric acid to get pure polyisobutylene pellet. Now, to make it nice and chewy, we're going to need some engine lubricant. We're going to run it through hexane and toluene solvent, then rapidly chill to create petroleum paraffin wax. Mix it with our polyisobutylene and resin plasticizers like glycerol, ester of rosin. And when you see gum base on your chewing gum label, this is basically what it is.
So yeah, apparently chewing gum is literally made of plastic and chemicals, and that ingredient gum base is in most natural chewing gums too. And in a UCLA study, they found that we are getting thousands of microplastics absorbed through our saliva by chewing gum. Apparently the whole claim of gum takes 7 years to digest in your system is a myth, but the chemicals that you're getting through the microplastics take 10 to 15 years to detox out of your body, which is why these chemicals are called forever chemicals, because we're intaking way more and way faster than we can detox them. On top of that, they are now finding microplastics in every organ in our body. They say we inhale a credit card a week and have about a whole plastic spoon in our brain right now. They are linking these microplastics now to smaller things like anxiety, mood swings, fatigue, but bigger things as well, like the C word, heart attacks, infertility.
Crazy, man. Stay away from gum. Another mermaid sighting? That could be a siren, too.
I need y'all to really pay attention to what's going on right now, because shit is getting dark. It's getting critical. I'm not going to sit here and speculate nothing. I want y'all to draw your own conclusions. I want y'all to write down below in the comments, what do y'all think is going on? If you didn't know, the military just raised the age that you can join the military from 35 all the way to 42. So you gotta sit here and ask yourself, why all of a sudden? Why are they raising the age limit to where you can join? Why now? So you could look at it like they're trying to help people out. You know, there's been a lot of people that wanted to join, but they like, they too old. But now they're raising the bar, so they like, hey, go get your money. Come join. We got a lot of people saying the stuff that's going on in Iran, what if they're doing this because ultimately they might need more people to join in case a war really break out. So down below in the comments, which people are you? Are you for this or are you against this? Let me know down below in the comments. This shit crazy, fool.
My people. What the hell is this? Caught on a lure for all my thumper shrimp buddies out there. and be catching supposedly all keepers and stuff. Yeah, show the real picture. What the hell is this?
I don't know what that is.
What the hell is this? For my top stream lures, the gurus, leave it in the comments. Hell no, Eddie, don't get excited now.
A woman agrees to pet sit for a family member, but whenever she gets to the house, this is what is waiting for her. Locked box with an oddly placed smiley face cut out, and when you look at it, there's eyes looking back at her through the eye sockets, but it looks like they're pointing in different directions. Not only would this immediately be a no for me, but she's supposed to be pet sitting for an entire week.
Nope.
Not only is she expected to feed whatever this is, she's supposed to come back multiple days and feed it. I don't know if this is going to make anyone feel better, but this locked box with two weird eyes staring back at her is also attached to a cage. As a pet owner and animal lover in general, I have to admit, I am very scared looking at this. I really wish I could give you a full breakdown on what we are witnessing that this girl is expected to pet sit and keep alive for a full week. I'm sure this pet, whatever it actually is lovely, but it is a very good reminder to never volunteer to pet sit unless you 100% know what the pet is you are about to go pet sit. I cannot find this girl's original account where she shared her pet sitting this creature. Honestly, maybe it's for the best. We'll say upon zooming in, this does kind of look like there's feathers. I'm assuming this is one bird, maybe this is a second bird. Just making assumptions so that I can sleep soundly tonight.
Those stones, man. They're just tearing it down. Said they're not a monument, they were meant for as a message. That's why they chant it down, they don't. Okay, what's she doing? Is that hot air balloon stuck, bro? She has to manually pull herself back in. See, bro, that's giving me phobias, man. I will not be hopping on a hot air balloon anytime soon. This is actually insane. She has to manually pull herself in because it looks like you get stuck up there. You got this, come on. Keeps going back and forth, man. You got this. Keep going. Almost there.
Dramatic rescue in East Texas this weekend. Check this out. A hot air balloon with 2 people on board hit a cell phone tower and they got stuck. This happened above the city of Longview. Rescue crews responded. They climbed up that cell tower, pulled the occupants from the basket one by one. Wow. This was all happening nearly 1,000 feet into the air. Thankfully, nobody was hurt in that.
We are now on day 8 of one of America's largest wildfires in history, and no one is talking about it. I thought the news was for the news, but okay. This fire is in Nebraska. It has burned almost 700,000 acres, and it is around 95% contained. Now, here's what I find very odd. There is an Elk Creek project that is set to take place in 2026, this year, in southeast Nebraska, right where the fire's at, for a critical mining company development. These critical minerals that they're going to pull out of the ground will help with aerospace, defense, and even energy industry. The Elk Creek project is actually led by NeoCorp, and NeoCorp itself is actually funded by the Pentagon itself. So if you ask me, it seems a little fishy. Something seems a little off about this. Was this pre-planned? I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comments.
Suspect in a murder investigation is a quadruple amputee, and somehow that's the least wild part of this story.
Dayton Weber started out with an incredibly inspiring story. As a baby, he contracted a severe blood infection, and doctors gave him a 3% chance to live. He survived, but they had to amputate all 4 of his limbs in the process. Despite that, he became a pro cornhole player, dominated the competition, became a bit of a celebrity, but things just took a very dark turn. Dayton was driving his car when he got into an argument with Bradrick Wells before pulling out a gun and fatally shooting him. He pulled over and asked the 2 backseat passengers to help him drag the body out of the car. They refused, ran off, flagged down police while Dayton drove away. Now the question of how instantly comes to everyone's mind, but it turns out Dayton has a YouTube channel showing that he is, in fact, very capable of loading and firing a handgun. He was tracked down and is now facing 1st and 2nd degree murder charges.
Okay. Whoa. He barely made it. Slow it down for us, man. Woo. I got phobia of elevators now. Show us how our snacks are made, bro. Cornflakes or Cheetos? They don't look healthy. I'll tell you that. Are they just using their hands? I'm noticing only some of them are wearing gloves, bro. That dog definitely senses something. They're like a park alone. If I'm knowing, I'm out, bro. The dog is warning you. There has to be something behind those bushes, man. I don't know what. And she's actually walking closer. She got it. Couldn't be me.
I'm just waiting on the Chris Brown concert in September 8th to come on.
No.
That's all.
Waiting on a Chris Brown concert? But what about that doll in your hand, lady? The eyes just moved.
It did.
If you keep that around you, I don't think you're gonna make it to that concert. Stop playing with me, son. This vicious man's staying purpose. Only I don't know what the hell is going on in there, but she better get rid of that doll fast. Shh. Shut up! It's not a game, guys. You see the eyes move. That reminds me of that movie, Tales from the Hood. Remember? She's cuddling with a doll with the eyes moving. Just get a man. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game. I ain't got you. Know what it is. Shh. Shut up! I told you about keeping those dolls around. Because now the eyes are moving. They had enough. People are saying that there's spirits going inside of these dolls, statues, things like that. And to be honest with you, that's a lie. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game. I ain't got you. Know what it is. Shut up. But I'll tell you one thing. If I ever go to a girl's house and she has dolls laying around, and when I look at it, it rolls its eyes at me. Should have never did that, dogs.
Okay, this 45-second mind experiment will completely change your life, but in order for it to work, you have to close your eyes. So if you're driving and watching this right now, do not participate in it. But for everyone else, close your eyes. I'm telling you, this actually pays off big time. So picture yourself in 10 years from now, in the future. And I know this sounds interesting, but picture yourself in very unfortunate conditions. Crummy job, crummy relationship, crummy reality, everything sucks, right? And at that moment, you'd be wishing you could go back 10 years and change something to be in a totally different position than you are 10 years in this fictitious future. Now, open your eyes. It's 10 years back in time. Do whatever you gotta do now to make your future 10 years be the most impeccable, vibrational, high vibe thing you can imagine. You know, for some people, it takes like a near-death experience to all of a sudden give them a new spark for life. But you can choose to have that spark now. It's all about the choice you make.
Do you all see this right here? This is Heidi Klum's Halloween costume, y'all. But is it just me, or does this look a little too realistic? I don't know. You tell me what is going on here. Maybe there is nothing to this at all, because at the end of the day, it's just a Halloween costume, right? Right? I don't know what's going on here. This is very creepy stuff. Again, this is very bizarre. Very strange indeed. And I know I can't be the only one out there that finds this to be a little bizarre, a little strange. I mean, again, this looks very, very realistic, doesn't it? Almost as realistic as Kim Kardashian's Halloween costume, right?
Yep.
Right? What do you think?
I don't know what's up with all these celebrities, man. Try to wear these reptilian costumes, man. It's almost as if they're like trying to put them in front of my face and see who picks up on it. The few who do, they're the one who asks questions. The ones who don't, they're just oblivious to it. Which one are you, Seekers?
He just revealed that he loved his dog so much that he cloned her. So while married to his ex-wife, the family had a pit bull mix named Luna, which they adored. So much so that when she died in 2023, he wanted an exact copy of her. Now, to do this, Tom Brady actually partnered with Colossal Biosciences, which is the same company that resurrected the extinct direwolf earlier this year. And they successfully cloned Luna using a blood sample which was taken from her before she died. Which I guess raises the question, how long was bro planning this? But also, Tom Brady is actually an investor of this company. And they conveniently recently announced that they will also be expanding their cloning as a service to other pet owners as well. And I know people like spending money on their dogs, but this is going to be next level. So the question is, should we be cloning our pets after they die or not?
Nope, because that can go down a very dark road, man. Right now, they just stick it to animals and pets. Well, if they go down the human road, I don't know how that's going to end up, man. But the fact that they're already resurrecting, I don't know, cloning pets, who's got to say they're doing humans next, bro? That's how the cloning saga is about to start.
I'm not saying that there's something going on with the skies, but when things like this is happening, it makes you question things, bro. Obviously, we're in the midst of a war, right? We got meteors or whatever's falling out of the skies, but why, when you are paying for a plane ticket, expecting a flight now, but when you get on a tarmac, you see a bus that's going to be taking you to your destination, bro? What is going on in our skies right now that they have to bring buses into the mix, man? And then what is happening at all these airports? This girl right here purchased a usual flight to Chicago, and she's expecting a plane, but when she got on tarmac, a bus was waiting to take her to her destination. You can see on her face, she looks perplexed. Like, what is going on? One thing if it was one person or two persons, but it's happening to a lot of people. This lady's going to train New Jersey, and of course she's expecting a plane. At least the bus is nice. But look at her, could tell she was shocked because she was like, what is going on? Y'all noticed it was right before the meteorites started showing up. Things started going crazy at the airports, right? I mean, everywhere worldwide experiencing it at the same time. And now the meteors are in the atmosphere, and now y'all have buses running this show now. This is crazy, bro. Look at this on the tarmac with the plane. Be honest with yourselves for a second, man. Y'all know these people have been lying to us since the very beginning. Y'all really think they're telling us the truth now? Do y'all really believe that they're telling us the truth with these meteors now, bro? What happened to 3i Atlas? All I know is I smell a fake alien invasion, bro. Let me know what you guys think about this video. The ship is here. We're in the midst of it. Let's continue to get it.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
And what are we in right now? We are in war, and all these things are happening in the skies right now, right? And he says, perhaps we need an outside threat. Like I said, we're in the midst of this shit. Let's continue to get it.
Watching this. Humans should not be able to do this, y'all. How is that possible? He's showing you there's nothing attached to these sticks. These are defying gravity and the laws of physics. This is some insane witchcraft.
He changed his eyes, bro.
This guy's either a really good street magician, or he made some kind of pact with the devil and sold his soul to be able to do some of these things. This guy does insane levels of street magic, but it definitely goes beyond just regular card tricks and smaller scale type stuff. But you can go back and watch the video. He definitely didn't seem to have anything attached, no strings attached to these sticks. As always, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stay weird.
How many times do people have to be told to stop messing with the paranormal, supernature, and the dead? Why do I say this? Because there was a guy who decided to live stream and do some sort of seance and saying he doesn't believe in ghosts. What happened next will scare the living daylights out of you. Viewer discretion is advised.
Oh, hell no.
I saw that.
Hell no.
I'm out.
Look at that.
1.3 seconds, bro.
This is as clear of an image as I can get off of that video. This is the problem when people tell you not to go out in the middle of anywhere and perform your own type of anything, to call upon anything that you shouldn't call upon, because what's going to happen sooner or later, it's going to show up. Now, one thing to keep in mind with the video, I did not see any watermark on the video that would illustrate to me that it was AI. It could be AI, but it sure as hell does not look like AI. And those screams from him were very, very, very genuine. That did not sound like a person that was faking, oh, I'm scared. That sounded like a person that was terrified.
Yep.
So let me know your thoughts in the comments as to, do you think that video is genuine, or do you think that it's AI? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
That's the problem, man. We don't know if it's genuine nowadays or AI, bro. AI is getting so advanced, man. They can make a whole video, man. You can barely tell the difference, bro. Just a couple of years ago, you could, but nowadays, bro, you can't tell the difference. What do you guys think, bro? Is that genuine or AI?
Are some of the creepiest videos on the internet. Part 5. Most of us know about the Christmas tradition, Elf on the Shelf. If you don't, it's basically a way to make your children behave by inviting a special scout elf that monitors your children's behaviors. Every day, children wake up to look for the elf who has changed places after reporting to the North Pole and back. And although these scouts can be simple or humorous, they also have a dark side. This video shows a family elf named Carol and the person recording asked the elf to tell Santa, "We've been really, really good." After stating his request, the elf darts its eyes to look at the camera before the cameraman sprints off. Although this video was proven to be a hoax and was just animated, there are still those who believe it. Regardless, it's sure to send a chill up your spine.
I don't think it's
what's
cat.
going on with Miley Cyrus? This was her and her Gucci sponsorship, and something is very off because it's giving like witch, like it's literally giving witch. And mind you, I don't mean this in a rude way because I love Miley Cyrus, and I'm just like, what does it profit a man to gain the whole entire world but loses his soul? I keep saying this time and time again. But the crazy thing is, it's not just that photo. Like, it's all of the photos. And the eyes, they do not lie. Mind you, she was just with Rick Owens. This is his wife, Michelle Amy, and we know that she is a self-professing witch. Nothing, she's not hiding it. She's straight raw with it. She did an interview with them and things like that. And I feel like all of this since then, she has been kind of seeming soulless. We talked about Jenna Ortega and a lot of these other artists who seem to have had a light in their eyes before and now they don't. And you have to pose the question, why is that? What is going on? Let me say this again. I love Miley Cyrus. I just don't love what she has become.
This is not fake. And if you do this, your head is literally about to look like this. Now, if you like playing video games at all, you're probably going to want to watch this because this ain't good. A while ago, scientists depicted what the future gamer's going to look like. And this is you, I guess. Showing people with hunchbacks, weird body features, but there's a main thing on their head. Essentially a big line, like an indent in their head from where they're wearing their headsets all the time. And well, it's come true. A few Twitch streamers a while ago have already noticed they've got this. First one being Curtis, who shaved his head on livestream and literally saw the indent in his head. This then sparked a lot of other gamers to come out, try the same thing, and well, you can see the results right there. Of course, what's caused this is from wearing the headset like all day. I mean, you can kind of see how that would happen. So if you're in school, you come home and you play games all night, maybe you even have one. Hopefully not, but maybe you do. This has now, over the past few months, become a pretty big thing with a lot of people actually having this. Now, of course, it's not dangerous. It's not going to kill you. It's just not the best thing to have, I guess. But if you're just playing games every now and again, don't worry, it's not going to happen. This happens over quite a long time span. But from what people have been saying as well, once you take the headset off and you don't use it for a while, it does just kind of go away.
Are house parties making a comeback? What you are seeing is footage of an insane Halloween party that got way out of hand and had to be shut down by police. This happened in Woodland Hills, LA, and according to Royal News, who captured this footage, the host initially promoted this party online, selling tickets in advance for just $35, but then charged up to $150 for whoever wanted to pay at the door. But, similar to the real Project X, way more people turned up than anticipated and things quickly started getting out of control. Dozens of 911 calls started flooding in, reporting injuries from stampedes. A massive fight broke out, people were spilling out into the streets, and the LAPD's air support unit estimated over 3,000 people in that neighborhood alone. When police turned up, one teenager was discovered lying unconscious in the street and was rushed to hospital. Several others were treated for injuries that they sustained in the stampede. And you'd think that most people would condemn this kind of behavior. But 2025's been so rough that people were actually proud, saying things like the earth was healing because the kids are partying again, and that there was still hope for the next generation after all.
If I was Punga right here, I would have popped off on Marlon for what he said. You gotta understand that the mouth hold a lot of power, no digging. So what you say out your mouth can come true. So what he said to Punga is wild as fuck, y'all. Look at this shit.
I'm good. I'm good. You may not be here long. I see something bad in your life. You got like 2 years left. So we gotta watch him. Y'all hang out with him now. He ain't gonna be here in 2 years. Don't you look like you look coughing ready?
I don't see how that was funny. I look coughing ready? Fuck, they gonna sacrifice me? Fuck you mean I got 2 years left to live? Boo-boo.
KFC.
Oh, I had that steak. Bro, I had that speaking steak logo on it, man. So that's, I have to question the validity of that, bro. Could be cut it up and edit it different, man.
Trying to tell us the truth about what we eating without telling us the truth about what we eating. So KFC put out a new ad, and in this new ad, let's just say it's a whole bunch of shit that don't got nothing to do with eating chicken. And for lack of a better words, in that video, it looks like they're saying that they've been feeding us people and not chicken. Matter of fact, look at this shit. Look at this shit. This ain't even a whole commercial. The whole commercial is crazy than this. Look at this shit. So what this mean right here? Oh no. Look. So you just turned the human into a chicken tender, right? Okay. Leave them what? And the chicken. And this takes me back to the video that I made about McDonald's selling 6.5 million burgers a day. Where the hell is all of this chicken coming from? What I'll say is this. These people have a way of letting us know what's going on without letting us know what's going on. And that commercial ad, or whatever you want to call it, just told me everything that I needed to know. See, this is the reason why I don't really like to eat fast food right now. And I'm not telling you to stop eating fast food. You can do what you want. The only thing I'm asking is, how many pieces of chicken do KFC sell in a day? And once y'all tell me that, then we'll understand what's going on over here. These people are selling what? Look at that ad again. Tell me what you think that ad is saying. Because that ad is speaking volumes. I'm out of here.
You guys ever heard
It's
of
in our
the
face.
Pyramid of the Sun in Bosnia? This archaeologist man was looking at this mountain, and it had perfectly 4 sides. And he's like, that kind of looks like a pyramid. And so he started doing excavations and stuff.
Yeah.
He found these giant stones, perfectly stacked. In the middle of these blocks was geopalmer, which is like an ancient cement. This pyramid was built based off carbon dating 35,000 years ago. The Great Pyramid, 7,000. This is where it gets really weird. He got shut down because Zahi Hawass, the lead Egyptologist in Egypt, pleaded with the Bosnian government saying, don't let him look into this any further.
Weird!
And so the Bosnian government's like, you can't go dig up anymore. The whole story just got swept under the rug. And then over 50 archaeologists came out to observe it themselves, and they're like, this is a pyramid. If you get a satellite image of this place, there's 2 other mountains that have a pyramid shape to them. It's just so weird that every single culture had a giant pyramid.
I never had a Bugs Bunny one, but I had the Boots one. You didn't have the Boots one because it didn't exist, bro. No!
Nah, that's cap,
Because
bro.
in the pictures, if you look in the ice cream truck, there's always just a one singular one with Dora, never a partner with it. Hey, I have a vivid memory of me like eating.
YouTuber just built IRL aimbot for FPS games. Nice. His name is basically Homeless. He created a system that uses AI to detect enemies on screen, then physically controls his arm and trigger finger using electrical muscle stimulation. Here's how it works. A machine learning model called YOLO identifies enemies in real time. A Raspberry Pi calculates exactly where his crosshair needs to move. Then EMS devices send electrical pulses to specific muscles in his forearm, forcing his arm to move and his finger to pull the trigger, all without him consciously doing anything. His body just moves on its own. The system achieves reaction times under 100 milliseconds. That's faster than humanly possible. Normal human reaction time is 200 to 300 milliseconds. But here's the debate. Traditional aimbots modify the game code. Anti-cheat software can detect that. This system doesn't touch the game at all. It modifies the player's body instead. So is it cheating? He's not hacking the game. He's hacking himself. The gaming industry has no rules for this because nobody thought someone would literally electrically control their own muscles to gain an advantage. When someone can achieve superhuman gaming performance by letting AI physically control their body, where do we draw the line between skill and technological enhancement?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if y'all ready for this one. Let's dig deep into Area 51. So we know that most people feel that Area 51 is a place where they experiment, dissect, and hold aliens. But my question is, why and how are they capturing them? If they know that these beings are highly intelligent, why not learn from them? Now we know that there's a special part of the G-Myth that handles these situations, aka the Illuminati, the Cabal, the Shadow G-Myth, whatever they call them, the ones in charge of putting the veil over our head. Just like there are good and bad people on Earth, there are good and bad aliens. The ones who want to keep planets at low vibrations take over them. But you also have good ones who want to bring knowledge, peace, and information. That's how some people think the Egyptians built the pyramids with their help. Now, a lot of people have said that these bad ETs have infiltrated our government already. AKA why you see shapeshifters and all that. Why do millions of people get kidnapped? Why does trafficking happen? Why is there so many low vibrational things happening on this planet? To keep it under the control of these beings. Now, if they're working together, what is the reason for Area 51? Probably to lock the good aliens up who are trying to help this planet, so this matrix can still keep running. I know y'all have seen the sky turning green. Rainbows being shown everywhere. Now in Norse mythology, rainbows represent the gateway to different planets. What if all these rainbows in the sky changing means that these beings are coming back to help us? And it's Area 51's job, with the help of these Greys, the Pleiadian race, to lock up these high vibrational beings when they come down. That's why when people spot them, the G-Man tries to cover it up and say, oh, they're just conspiracy theorists. But just know that more of the good ones are coming. Just pay attention to the sky and stay dangerous.
Alright, 3.
So you guys believe that, man? We got some good aliens, bad aliens out there. That's why they abduct them, bro, take them to Area 51. To keep them separated from the bad ones. That's an interesting theory. Never heard of that before.
Comet ATLAS just changed fast and quite dramatically, actually. Here's the latest. So, as it hit perihelion as predicted on October 29th, which was yesterday, new data from NASA's STEREO, SOHO, and GHOST 19 shows that the object rapidly brightened and it shifted to a color bluer than the sun itself. That's coming from several sources, one of which is Avi Loeb, who confirmed the change using the fresh imagery that was taken between October 18th and the 24th. So basically a blue color means that it's releasing higher energy. Higher energy particles, likely fresh gas, dust, as it heats up, nearing that sun. And that could tell us a lot about what the object is actually made of. So it's currently behind the sun where it was predicted to be. It still seems to be on the course as predicted, and it shows no signs of fragmentation yet, but it's evolving quickly. So over the next few days, our researchers will be watching to see if the brightness holds or if it collapses, which will give a clue to whether it's going to survive its swing around the sun or not. So I'll keep you posted as new data rolls in, but stay curious, stay grounded.
Thanks for the info update.
This is crazy. Scientists have discovered a brand new colour that no human has ever seen before. Now, they have called this colour Olo. So this colour cannot be seen with the human eye. And it requires a little bit of a trick to be able to see it. So stick with me, I'm going to do the trick with you, and let's see if you can see the colour. So the colour behind me is Olo. And you're probably thinking, yeah, it looks like turquoise. But this colour isn't Olo, because you're looking at it with your human eyes. So to be able to see it properly, we have to stimulate something called the M cones in our eyes. And this is how we're going to do it. So what I need you to do is I need you to hit pause on this video and I need you to stare at this colour for 60 seconds. Then I will put that Olo colour back on the screen and I want to know if you see it differently. Is it different? So there is a lot of people saying that they see this completely differently. I have tried the test and it looks no different to me. Please let me know in the comments.
You guys,
I ain't seen nothing.
We are now in the time of prophecy. It just went biblical in China, y'all. What in the Atlantis 2.0 is going on here? Did you guys hear what happened to China, y'all? China, like whole cities are lit. So remember when we talked about that these weather anomalies were popping up out of nowhere? Nobody. Some people that have been impacted by this. Of course, there are some tragedies. Folks are saying people are missing. I mean, look at this, y'all. And this right here is how you know the storm was really bad, because you have the bridges in China overflowing with water. Y'all, there's no cap on the bridges. How is this even possible, y'all? Huh? You know what I'm saying? China is one of the most ancient places on earth. This is where we used to be. It is full of ley lines, ancient technology, sacred temples, y'all. We're watching a whole reset happening in China, y'all. They're calling this the flood of the century. It has broken records. Wow. Do you guys think you can ever rebuild from something like this? I mean, this is somebody's home, y'all. And that right there is also somebody's home. Wow. Do y'all see how the weather's popping off everywhere? Like, who asked for this? I mean, of course we're like, the earth does what it wants, but this right here is crazy, man. You can't do nothing about it. You can only watch it. I hope you guys are paying attention, because this is not just about climate change, y'all. There's a shift within the mist. Let me know what you guys think about it.
Signs that you or your friends are serial killers. Number 1, antisocial behavior. Number 2, setting things on fire. It doesn't have to be houses. Number 3, torturing animals. Number 4, having a troubled family history and substance abuse. Number 5, they're pretty smart but cannot keep a job. Do you know anyone that could be a serial killer?
Here's some of the most random fun facts you will ever hear in your life. Armadillo shells are actually bulletproof. One time a man was hospitalized when he shot at an armadillo and the bullet ricocheted off the shell and hit him instead. There's only one letter in the entire alphabet that isn't in any US state name, and that letter is Q. There's not a single state with the letter Q in its name.
Really?
71% of the earth is covered in water, and humans can only use 0.007% of that water. 2.5% of the total water is fresh water, and only 1% of that is actually accessible. The bumblebee bat is the smallest mammal in the entire world. These things can rest on your fingertips and you might not even know because they weigh 0.05 to 0.07 ounces. Ostriches are the world's largest and heaviest living bird. That's why they can't fly, but they are built for running. And they can reach speeds of up to 43 miles per hour, and they can pretty easily coast at 30 miles per hour. The longest English word is 189,819,000 letters long. It's a protein and its nickname is Titin, and it would take around 3.5 hours to say the word out loud.
The hell?
People who gained real-life superpowers after an accident. Jason Padgett was a party animal who hated school and got terrible grades. But one day, two men savagely robbed and attacked Jason outside of a karaoke bar, leaving him with a severe concussion. The concussion caused him to become a mathematical genius and made him learn fractal geometry, which he had never been taught before. When Derek Amato was 39 years old, he hit his head after diving into a swimming pool and was diagnosed with a concussion and 35% hearing loss. After that, Derek began to see black and white keys in his head, and out of nowhere, he began to play the piano like an expert. Ben McMahon was in a car accident in 2015 and fell into a coma for a week. When he woke up, he could speak perfect Chinese even though he had only learned the basics as a child. Tony Cicerio was struck by lightning after making a call in a phone booth. Within a couple days, he was addicted to music, which he wasn't before. After trying the piano, he became a musical artist, composing his own music.
This mother hits the...
Man, what is up, man? These freak accidents, bro. Like, it really sounded like something out of a comic book, man. You know, something traumatic happens to them. They wake up with new abilities or powers or something like that. Can't believe those stories, man. Are real. We'll have to check them out, see if we can find any more.
Sticky notes in her daughter's sock to be saved from captivity. This 28-year-old mother and two kids, 7-year-old daughter and 4-year-old son, Mason Dominguez, were held captive by a man named Brandon Tusland. This all started in January 2021 when the father of the two kids, Eli Dominguez, passed away from pneumonia. The mother was happily married to Eli, but since his death, she began to struggle financially. That's when Eli's former friend, Brandon, offered to support her and her two kids. In March 2021, the mother and two kids moved into Brandon's home, and that's when he became controlling and abusive. He alienated her from her family, made her quit her job, and confiscated her phone. He put locks on the bedroom doorknobs, installed motion sensors, and duct taped her to the bed. She was also handcuffed when she rode in the car with him. But one day, the mother spotted a sticky notepad and a pen in his car, and that's when she began a weeks-long plan to seek help. The mother found the perfect chance to put a sticky note in her daughter's sock, and on February 22nd at 8:40 a.m., the 7-year-old girl went to school and gave the sticky note to her teacher. The note said that her mother was being held against her will and she needed help right away. School officials notified authorities and Brandon was arrested right away. But it doesn't end there. This is when things get super disturbing. Brandon kept her kids away from her most of the time, and especially when she was locked up. And she actually had not seen her 4-year-old son, Mason Dominguez, since December 11th. And she suspected he was dead. When the mother lost full contact with her son, she knew she had to find a way out to save her and her daughter. When police searched his house, they found the remains of 4-year-old Mason Dominguez in his freezer in his garage.
It's just a dark case seekers, man. She was smart.
Attached to your phobia. Thalassophobia.
Level 1. It's good. I'm still good right now. It's kind of scary. Could you imagine being out there? Yeah, I can't do that. Damn.
These toy designers messed up big time. I'm pretty sure there was a better spot to put this straw on Buzz Lightyear. Come on. And I've never seen a duck with 4 legs before. Have you? I poop glitter. But why is this even a toy? And why this designer made Harry Potter blue? I'll never understand. And this looks like a normal cute horse, right? Well, it actually has a Barbie head as the tail. I am a sweet baby. Let's have fun together. Yeah, you don't look too sweet. And
What
I think
the
there's
hell?
something up with this Woody doll. And I'm not sure what's going on with this baby's eye.
What the hell is wrong with those toy designers, man? They weren't thinking.
Here are some of the rarest human mutations that actually exist. Firstly, every 1 in 1,000 people have a perfect 10 face, meaning that all of their features fit perfectly within these lines. Now, every 1 in 107 people experience something called mirror touch. It's where you feel the sensation of touch in the same or opposite body part when you see somebody else being touched. Now, 4% of people have something known as sweaty palm syndrome. I'm sure you can guess what that is. It's where your palms sweat when you're not even being active. And the rarest mutation is werewolf syndrome. This is where you have excessive hair growth all over your body. And only 50 people worldwide have this.
This is Tragedy by the Sea.
Werewolf syndrome. Interesting.
Photos of all time. Okay, so first glance at this photo, you just think it's a couple arguing at the beach, right? But believe it or not, this photo might have the most unsettling and disturbing backstory ever. On the morning of April 2nd, 1954, Los Angeles Times photographer named John Gaunt, who was pictured in the middle of this photo, was relaxing on his front yard of his beachfront house when he heard a neighbor shout, "Something's happening on the beach." He then instinctively grabbed his camera and rushed over to see the horrified couple clutching each other on the beach. On the shore stood a young couple named Mr. and Mrs. McDonald, and their body language made John's stomach turn. He realized that someone must be lost, and he then took a photograph from 200 yards away. Only then did he learn that just moments before, the couple's 19-month-old son Michael, who had been playing in the yard, had wandered down to the beach and crawled into the violent waters while they weren't looking. Despite the back and forth efforts by the parents, there was nothing they can do but just wait. Unfortunately, later that day, the child's dead body was washed up about a mile away on the beach. And this photo, titled "Tragedy by the Sea," appeared on the front page of the Times the very next day. John Gaunt then won the 1955 Pulitzer Prize Award, calling the photo poignant and profoundly moving. But he also received heavy criticism for capitalizing on the family's tragedy for his photo opportunity. But now take a look at this photo, knowing everything you do, and tell me it's not one of the saddest and most disturbing photos ever.
The darkest conspiracy theories. The Teletubbies theory. The theory says that the show is inspired by historic events that happened in a Bulgarian mental facility. Each Teletubby is inspired by a kid that was experimented on. Lola was based on a child who had facial disfigurement and had to smile all the time. Tinky Winky was based on a deaf child who was tied to a fence outside and suffered frostbite. Gypsy was inspired by a child who was constantly sick and ended up lying in his own puke. And Poe was based on a child who fell into fire, which is recognizable by his color is red.
This 14-year-old boy
adds up.
his 83-year-old neighbor. Viewers' discretion is strongly advised. On August 29th of 2018, 14-year-old Tyrone Harvin told his 83-year-old neighbor, Dorothy Mae Neal, that he would help her with some chores inside of her apartment. Before walking into her apartment, he made sure to grab a handful of condoms. Tyrone did help Dorothy with some chores before attacking her with a lamp. After that, Tyrone SA'd her, he fled her apartment, and he left her seriously injured on the floor and naked. Neighbors had asked police to do a welfare check on Dorothy since they hadn't seen her around for a couple of days. When officers showed up at her apartment, they noticed dried blood on her doorknob, and that's when they saw Dorothy lying naked on the floor. She was then taken to the University of Maryland Hospital Trauma Unit and unfortunately passed away that next day. When officers were at Dorothy's home, they noticed that there was several condom wrappers around her body as well as used condoms. A broken, bloodied lamp was also found by officers. Dorothy's autopsy revealed that she suffered extensive trauma to her head and genitals. There was DNA on
found Dorothy's body and in those condoms, and that DNA matched up to Tyrone. Despite all of the evidence, Tyrone's mom stood by his side and truly believed that he would never do something like this. On June 29th of 2022, Tyrone was convicted on first-degree murder, first-degree SA, and use of a deadly weapon. Tyrone was also sentenced to life in prison.
Oh no.
All life over, there you
No,
go.
no, 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 silly. To dry it. But it exploded. And they were both found dead.
Here's some
Sounds
random
like an
things
edit.
we all did as kids. Who remembers pouring glue all over their hand and peeling it off? How satisfying was that?
I
And we
remember that.
definitely have all gotten our fingers stuck in one of these at least one time. Who
True.
remembers feeling like the coolest kid with a pencil this small? And we all ran our fingers along these grooves at school. Admit it, we all stabbed our eraser with our pencil like this. And we definitely all unraveled the design of these pencils. And we all dove to the bottom of the pool to pick up these rings. Who remembers using these blocks in school? And we definitely all tried pushing down all of the colors at one time.
Did any of you guys do that, Seekers, in school? I remember
It's not
that.
something that's terribly new, but have you heard about the woman that is haunting AI pictures? This is the face, and nobody can explain why she keeps showing up in AI images. If you look at her, she's not really general. I mean, there are specific characteristics here that are consistent. Again, nobody knows which prompts are generating this woman. Nobody knows why her face continues to appear in different models. So this has opened up one of my favorite questions about the idea that AI pictures can be haunted. And don't forget, if things like this are of interest to you, make sure to go check out the podcast.
War generals rarely to study.
Wow.
Coyote managed to finesse its two biggest enemies, and all they had to do was wait and play the long game. So once upon a time, humanity saw this canyon puppy and decided it was on site ever since. America started murking coyotes like they were made out of oil. Mark Twain hated it so much, he wrote a 3-page MLA format essay on why coyotes deserve nothing. If you thought Kendrick hated Drake, that is nothing on the abhorrence this man had for a travel-sized wolf. So much that it literally inspired a pain magnet of a Looney Tune. Now here's the first problem of beefing with coyotes. Coyotes are basically canine cockroaches. The harder you try to murk them, the harder they work to birth them. Apparently they even have this roll call where a female will call out and all the coyotes in an area will answer. And if she doesn't hear a lot of yotes back, it'll actually trigger her body to make more pups. Now op number 2, wolves don't mess with coyotes at all. Like to a homicidal level. To the point where wolves will hard bully coyotes in the same area. Now here's where the get back happened. While we were out here spam killing coyotes, we were also at war with wolves. Except getting generationally stepped on by wolves made coyotes that much more adaptable. So while the big bad wolf was getting smoked, coyotes were out here stepping extinction. And when wolves got packed up in the US, for coyotes it was free real estate. So not only did we accidentally become coyote allies, the wolf dating pool got so low, eventually they started doing the unspeakable with the ops to survive, leading to the coy wolf. It's exactly what it sounds like. Remember, wolves hate coyotes more than anything. So just like that, coyotes managed to outcompete their biggest enemy and also colonize their bloodline. And with coyotes found in every state that isn't Hawaii, they basically humbled humanity too. And that's why I rock with them. They're alive out of spite, and I respect that.
Man. A merge with you, coyote and wolf, both ops joined it together, man. All because of us. Crazy story in Animal Kingdom history.
Unexpected emergency alert systems in different countries. Firstly, if you don't know, countries have different emergency alert systems. The one I'm used to is America's that sounds like this.
Yup.
But on the other hand, we have the country of Barbados, which honestly sounds like club music. Next is Japan, which to me isn't that scary and just sounds like a notification. Now, one that I would genuinely be terrified by is Ireland's. Just imagine waking up to this. Finally, you know, I'm kind of glad that America's emergency alarm isn't too scary because Denmark is on another level.
Nightmarish facts about your body that you probably shouldn't think about. Due to the brain's lack of pain receptors, brain surgery is often performed while the patient is awake and talking. And in some cases of brain surgery, the surgeon will pull your face forward like a banana. Men's nipples can be stimulated enough to produce milk. Once you turn 30 years old, you can expect to lose half an inch every 10 years. When you developed in the womb, your anus was formed before anything else. So at one point, you were nothing but an asshole.
The acid in your body is strong enough to dissolve razor blades, which is why your stomach is in a constant battle to not digest itself. When you get a sunburn, your cells are dying to avoid becoming cancerous. A sneeze can blow out of your nose at over 100 miles an hour. So next time, be careful, because it's actually possible to break a rib simply by sneezing. If you've ever been on a roller coaster and feel like your heartbeat is in your mouth, it isn't your imagination. Your organs are actually moving around inside your body.
You guys know some freaking creepy facts? I think the one that got to me is that we have enough stomach acid to freaking burn, like I said, the razor blade, bro. And they were literally born in that freaking butthole, bro. I never knew that was the first thing that formed, man. So we was all, I guess that's one time of that life. Edit. Like I said, man, if you guys see any edits, man, call them out as well, bro. We all need to help each other, man. This community.
Adult jokes in kids' cartoons you probably didn't notice.
Hey, Judy! Want a party with a real bug? Yeah! Oh, lady, come like Papa. Yeah.
So, being a ladybug automatically makes me a girl. Is that it, flyboy? Huh?
Right! She's a god!
Knowledge you wish you didn't know. Gandhi was racist and sexist. He kept a bunch of underage girls with him all the time. He would bathe with them, get full-body massages from them, and sleep naked with them in order to test himself. He also thought women were responsible for their own sexual assaults, and was totally cool with fathers killing their own daughters after they had been sexually assaulted for family honor.
Gandhi Doc Origins confirmed.
Lauren was shot 15 times, and 8 of those shots were fatal. Emergency personnel arrived at the scene, as well as local neighbors, so that they could assist. At that point, no one had told Lauren's parents that she had been shot. Lauren's mom, Bianca, was unaware of what was going on, and was just doing what she normally did, waiting at home for Lauren to arrive. But then, one of her friends pulled up to her house, asking if Lauren was home yet. Her mom was confused about this question, and responded and said, "No, why?" And the friend, in a panic, said, "Kids are down," and then left. So her mom, Bianca, didn't hesitate or even let her dad, Vern, know what she was doing, and she just booked it out the front door to make sure that it wasn't her child that was, quote, down. Lauren's dad, Vern, could tell that something was wrong, because Bianca wasn't the kind of person to just jump up, flee the house without saying anything or indicating what was wrong. So he knew something was up. So he immediately hopped in his truck and he followed her. There were tons of police cars, ambulances, people, and now crime scene tape blocking the area off. So Bianca was just looking around in a complete panic, trying to see if Lauren was there, while simultaneously trying to assess the situation and come to terms with what was going on, and that is when she laid eyes on Lauren. In that moment, her worst fears realized, and her worst nightmares come true, seeing her daughter on the ground, appearing to have been shot.
Okay, this is getting creepy. Without finding out more than Doomsday fish washed up dead in San Diego just 2 days before California was rattled by that 4.6 magnitude earthquake. I mean, come on. Now for anyone that doesn't know, we've spoken about this before, but according to Japanese mythology, the oarfish, which is very rarely seen by humans, because they swim at depths of roughly 200 to 1,000 meters, well, is said to intentionally rise to the surface and beach themselves ahead of an impending earthquake, hence the name. And I made a video earlier this year when one was spotted before the Japan earthquake, and now again, for this one. So, now remember, there is no scientific evidence that has proven a correlation between them washing up and earthquakes. So as of right now, all we can say is just it's a freaky, freaky coincidence.
You guys believe that, man? It's 2 out of 2, though. He did one early this year in the fish and that freaking earthquake happened, and another one happened as well. So he's 2 for 2 confirmed, man. It's starting to not seem like a coincidence anymore, Seekers.
Attractions in the World Part 2. Today we're going to be talking about the 17th door. This attraction is so much different than the rest because actors are allowed to touch you. There's also a slight possibility that you'll get your hair cut here, which makes things like 100 times worse. Put you through various levels and rooms that just kind of keep getting worse. The room that you're seeing here actually turns and spins while you're in it. It's really trippy, especially if you don't know it's coming. You can watch a walkthrough of this place online. A lot of commenters were saying that this doesn't do the place justice. Basically, they were holding back a little for the people recording, supposedly. Oh yeah, and here's their lovely little barber shop. I wouldn't go here, but let me know if you would.
I'm never going to any of those freaking haunted houses, bro. They're too extreme for my
Beetlejuice
taste.
is not going to try to marry Jenna Ortega's character in the sequel. I feel like the trailers make it abundantly clear that he's trying to get back with Lydia again. First thing he does when he sees her is he grabs her and he says, I'm gonna make you so happy. He even has a picture of Lydia on his desk, and then he says, now's my chance. The trailer kind of implies that Lydia's husband dies at the beginning of the movie, so maybe the movie is about Beetlejuice trying to be a father to Jenna Ortega's character. He puts down the newspaper and it says obituary, so he probably found out someone died and he thought, now is my time. Let me have another chance with Lydia. You can even see in the trailer that he's at the altar with Lydia. You can also see a wedding cake in the chapel, and you see that this is Lydia with the red dress from the first movie. Like, the first wedding outfit is on the wedding cake. And we even see her in a chapel in the red dress. Because I know that Jenna Ortega is wearing a white dress here, but if she was marrying Beetlejuice, it would be this white dress. Also, let's be honest, like, it's 2024. I think they realized that they kind of made him look like a creep in the old movie, and that society doesn't like that anymore, they're not okay with that. And they acknowledge that in the musical. There's a whole song about how Lydia's marrying a creepy old guy and she's an underage bride. Also, this is a fan-made photo. But I know they added this character, I think her name's Dolores, that's gonna be Beetlejuice's wife. I can't wait for this movie though. Let me know your thoughts, and follow my TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube for more. It really helps when you interact.
I never watched the first Beetlejuice, guys, so tell me down below, man. Should I check that out? They sound like a creep trying to marry an underage girl. I don't think they're doing that in the second Beetlejuice.
What did Smith really mean to tell us?
Yo, we out here on vacation in the Bahamas, another beautiful day. Check it out, check it out. Boom. I want to talk to y'all for a minute about the power of perception. You see, there's a lot that goes in to being a hot social media content provider. For instance, y'all think I got time to go on vacation? No. I got social to do. Come on, man, this is blue screen. In fact, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I haven't looked like this good in years. I've been totally computer generated since like the 90s. And you know what? This ain't even real blue screen. It's 2019, y'all. Nothing's real.
Tell me.
The whole message of this freaking computer generated, man. That's really scary. It shows you how far technology has come, and you can literally just make anything, bro, on the internet. Location, your face, whole bodies. Oh, that's trippy.
Do you believe was Disney trying to tell us something? Crazy, right? Some things are just an optical illusion, right? Well, is this an optical illusion? Look at that and tell me you don't know what that is. Go ahead and tell me that confidently and mean it, because you know darn well what that is. You can see it. No, that's not a carving. That's a petrified animal from the days of old.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Do you see this?
Yep.
It's freaking nature! And it's freaking
Yes, it is. And I don't think science can properly explain how these animals were petrified so quickly to where they were able to preserve their form through all these years. And you know, that really got me thinking. There's plenty of statues on this earth that are thousands of years old. Now, what if they were petrified beings? Now, I know, it's just a thought. And yeah, I can't wait for the Mount Rushmore jokes. And you can joke all you want, but I promise you truth is stranger than fiction.
These are 8 horrifying facts that will probably keep you up at night. There are thousands of old diseases frozen in the glaciers of the world, and global warming will eventually release them all. If a person dies in their costume at Disney, like Mickey Mouse, they have to be sat down on a bench so it looks like they're resting. Climate change is making spiders bigger. Some female spiders allow their young to eat them alive. Tooth in the eye surgery is when surgeons put a tooth in a blind person's eye to restore their sight. It was pioneered in the 1960s, and it actually works, and it's still being done today. The chances of a successful CPR outside of a hospital is only 7%. Cell phones are 10 times dirtier than a toilet seat. When you suddenly wake up during the night without any reason, there was someone or something staring at you. Yeah, there's a lot more, like for part 12.
Need to clean our phones, bro.
Even
ASAP.
the actor that plays Art the Clown vomited from how gross Terrifier 3 is about to be. In fact, there were a lot of really big production companies that wanted to be involved in making Terrifier 3. The creator ended up turning it down because he didn't want to have less gore and tone down certain scenes. To stick it to these companies, he said, we're gonna make it even worse. He even said that they're gonna make the bedroom scene from the last movie look like a little kid thing. Like, that is how intense this movie is going to be. That is the level that we're about to be on. It's supposedly an unwritten rule that you're not supposed to do anything to kids. Like when bad things happened to Georgie and it was like such a game changer, and so many people were like really upset that they would kid in a film. And I don't know about you, but I'm thinking of so many movies where they don't follow that rule. But they are not about to hold back. I don't understand how they can do like the bedroom scene and then be able to put that in the movie theater. The scene took 3 years to make, and it was so intense that people were either vomiting or walking out of the theater. But it was insane. It was so like an awakening. Terrifier the franchise is just known for upsetting the mainstream and pushing boundaries in horror, which I
a homemade cage for his head to stop smoking. He then gave his wife the keys and only she could open it during meals. The man's name is Ibrahim Yücel. He is a Turkish man. He was smoking 2 packs daily for 26 years and decided he wanted to stop one day. So he built a homemade cage out of copper. In my opinion, this thing looks like a torture device. And he didn't just wear this at home. He wore this outside, going to work, running his errands. He was dedicated to stop smoking. He started doing this in 2013, and I believe he is still doing this to this day. The only thing he could get through the cage was a straw from a bottle of water and maybe some crackers. He designed it in a way that you couldn't even sneak a cigarette inside there. He definitely knew he would be having withdrawals and planned this accordingly. Down here is a picture of his wife unlocking the cage for him, and over here is more of a close-up photo of the cage. And then here's a picture of him with the cage off right here. He's talking on the phone. I'm assuming he's having a meal and he's just chatting away. But honestly, props to him. If it works, it works. I'm not sure if I have any followers from Turkey, but if I do, let me know if you've seen this guy around. And let me know what you think about this story.
Weird facts.
Have you seen that before?
If you're coughing uncontrollably, just raise your hands above your shoulder and it will stop. Did you know that TikTok doesn't let you type Area 51? When crossing the street at night, turn on your phone's flashlight and point it toward oncoming traffic. If you think you're being followed, turn right 4 times, since you'll get to the same place they shouldn't be following you anymore. If they do, you might be in trouble. Don't walk down the stairs with hands in your pockets. If you type your big forehead, you get a warning. Blue color attracts mosquitoes and 2 times more than any other. Strawberries can also be white and yellow. Some even can taste like pineapples. You can't unalive yourself by holding your breath. If you search these coordinates on Google Maps, you will find a man dragging a body. Follow for more.
Really?
Nobody in the entire world can visit this island. Okay, so majority of Americans don't know about the Forbidden Island in Hawaii that is owned by one single family and nobody could visit. The island is called Niihau, and it's extremely different from anything else in the United States. There is only a population of 70 people, and they have no access to paved roads, telephone service, no running water, and the majority of the island lives off welfare checks from the US government. And with such harsh living conditions, it makes you wonder why anybody would even live on this island. And the real question is, if there's nothing to hide here, why can't anybody visit? Well, this rule that doesn't allow any outsiders onto the island was actually written into the agreement by the natives when they sold it to the Robinson family, all the way back in 1864.
Way back.
The Robinson family bought the island for $10,000 in gold, which is $325,000 today. And the crazy thing is that this family still owns the island. The Robinsons are also very focused on preserving the Hawaiian culture on this island that the natives did, so they go to church every Sunday, banned long hair for men, and kept the official Hawaiian language. But my whole opinion on this island is that if nobody can visit there and there's only 70 people on it, there's gotta be some crazy stuff going on there, right? There's just no way these 70 people are just completely normal living on this isolated island that nobody could visit. Let me know your thoughts on this, and also let me know if you've ever heard of this.
These are 8 horrifying facts that will probably keep you up at night. There's a 1 in 3 chance police will never identify your killer if you were murdered in the United States. If the sun exploded now, you wouldn't know about it for another 8 minutes. 20% of children report hearing voices. There are 40 supervolcanoes around the world capable of claiming 1 billion lives. And we are about 24,000 years overdue for an eruption. The air you breathe in train stations is 15% human skin. There are over 200 dead bodies on top of Mount Everest, because retrieving them is such a risk. They serve as markers for other hikers. When you die, your house cat is going to want to eat you. Speaking of pets, dogs like squeaky toys because they mimic the screams of their prey. Yeah, there's a lot more. Like for part 2.
I know why my dog loves the squeaky toy so much. I never knew that. Be careful when you buy your squeaky toys for your dogs now.
Insane True Stories up now.
Morbid facts about Mike Tyson, Part 2. While visiting a zoo in the late 1980s, Tyson noticed an alpha silverback gorilla bullying all the others. He offered the zookeeper 10 grand to open the gorilla cage so that he could go in there and smash that silverback's snot box. Luckily for the gorilla, the worker declined the offer. Here's a 1997 photo of Las Vegas police facing Mike Tyson after he'd just bitten off the ear of Evander Holyfield. Tyson claimed he was in a primal blacked out state and literally wanted to kill his opponent. Mike had 6 biological children, but his little girl Exodus tragically died when she was only 4 years old. In 2009, Exodus was playing on a treadmill when she accidentally died from strangulation after falling and catching her neck on a power cord. 3 years after signing with Don King, Tyson didn't even know that he had a fan club. When he finally went there, he found a letter from a woman asking if Tyson could call her dying little boy. Tyson immediately called, hung up, cursed out Don King, then started to cry. He said that the call was 1 year too late.
If you were someone that...
Man, those freaking facts about Mike Tyson. He went through a lot in his life, man. Because you guys know what happened between that Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. How some people said they kind of didn't live up to the hype, but I guess he did what he needed to do, man. I guess to get that money.
You know, has small children, please watch this video until the end because it could save their life. Basically, Bobby baby pillows are being recalled after suffocating 8 children to their end. What happened was that these 8 children were laid down to sleep on these pillows and woke up lifeless. The recall includes the original, preferred, and Pottery Barn Kids Bobby baby pillows, and if you own any of these, you can take them to a local store for a refund. These are being recalled all the way back from 2004 to September of this year, so if you own any of these from any of those years, you might be at risk. So please, never put any babies or young children to sleep in any of these, and if you know anyone with young children, please send them this video so they don't miss this life-saving information.
That's insane.
Give you hope. This woman swept out to sea while at the beach was rescued after 37 hours of drifting over 50 miles in an inflatable swim ring. Overdoses have decreased for the first time in over 5 years. This stranger saved a 4-year-old from a flying puck at a hockey game. Every country has now banned the use of leaded gasoline in cars, with Algeria being the last one a couple years ago. Bruno was able to get a fresh start and a new life after 473 days in a shelter. A study of over 2 million people found that eating cheese is healthy for aging because of the lower stress that you experience in life. The amount of sugar consumed by kids in the United Kingdom halved in 1 year after a sugar tax was introduced. Scientists have developed a glowing dye that sticks to cancer cells, which helps scientists prevent cancer from coming back. This nearly extinct pupfish has hit a 25-year high with their population. There are less than 200 of them in one single cave in the Mojave Desert of Nevada.
Here are 3 real ways to survive Ohio. The land of Ohio is a mysterious pocket dimension located within the continental United States that is widely regarded as being one of the most dangerous places known to man. With that being said, the easiest way to guarantee your survival of this state is to simply avoid visiting it altogether. This should be a relatively easy task since no one actually lives in Ohio. Remember, if you think you have family or friends to visit there, that's just the demons whispering in your ear, and those thoughts should be ignored entirely. Secondly, if you do somehow wind up in this desolate place, remember to ignore the locals at all costs. Their lonely state might inspire you to take pity on them and engage them in conversation, but be warned, if you speak to them, you will become as they are. Finally, above all else, you'll need to try and keep moving at all times in one direction. Time and space work differently in the state of Ohio, and it may feel like you've been walking in circles for hours or even days. But remember, every step that you take is a step closer to freedom. Leave a comment if you're enjoying this series, and if you know anyone from Ohio, tag them. It might help them escape.
Any of you guys know anybody from Ohio? I only know LeBron James, man. That's I do comes from Ohio, but I guess this TikTok, bro, wants us to avoid it, man. And because they be Ohio, Skippity, Riz, Gyat, whatever, man. I think it originated there, bro. Oh, man, those TikToks, bro. Probably crazy, man, in Ohio, bro. Imagine walking down the street, somebody yelling, "Gyat skibbity," bro. Oh, man. Interesting. Where is it at? They brought like a whole setup.
Did you know that Art the Clown played the Grinch in a horror movie? Yes, there is a horror slasher version of the Grinch, and it's called The Mean One. The story follows Cindy Lou Who after the Grinch kills her parents, and she grows up and she decides that she's going to make it her life's mission to kidnap the Grinch and to kill him for what he did to her. And Art the Clown himself, David Howard Thornton, plays the horror version of the Grinch, the mean one, and he brings so much personality to the character even through all of the paint and prosthetics. Like, look at these cool shot comparisons. This is the original Grinch, and here we have the horror version of the Grinch. The Mean One is definitely considered a horror comedy, so keep that in mind if you choose to watch it. It's also extremely bloody and extremely silly, which I feel like you would expect. My favorite part of the movie is when Cindy Lou Who, as a child, is being interviewed by cops to try to get an idea of what this guy looks like. The sketch artist draws the little girl's description and then in all seriousness is like, "Sweetie, is this what he looked like?" It's really funny that David Howard Thornton has gotten to play a horror version of Santa as Art the Clown, and he's also gotten to be a horror version of the Grinch. Pretty cool.
Why you should always respect Mother Nature.
You should, of course, never do what this guy did in that video, and viewer discretion advised for this one because there's no happy ending here. The man in the video that I showed you is 28-year-old Jacob Cockle. Jacob's passion was surfing and pretty much anything ocean-related, so he felt like the water was his element. This is likely why Jacob thought he would be able to best a whirlpool when it came to swimming by it. Initially, when Jacob jumped into the whirlpool, nothing went wrong. There were about 28 minutes of footage of him floating around on top, and this is because he had the safety of a wetsuit. Wetsuits trap a lot of air, they're very buoyant, and they're made out of neoprene. This particular whirlpool was not strong enough to take Jacob down when he's floating on the surface. However, Jacob made a grave mistake. At one point or another, Jacob decided that it would be a good idea to dive underwater to get more footage. This caused the buoyancy of his suit to drop, and the whirlpool became strong enough and sucked him down. Jacob was unfortunately not able to escape from the whirlpool's grasp.
Photos with disturbing backstories.
Stay out the water, man. tell a story every single time, man. That's why I always pay attention to him, bro. That's the edit. She do that. We expert level now, bro.
These are 8 horrifying facts that will probably keep you up at night. Sometimes you laugh, talk, and cry in sleep. It's often a spirit sitting beside you in bed. You are more likely to be bitten by someone in New York than to be bitten by a shark. A human head remains conscious for 20 seconds after being decapitated. If you search up this number on Google, you'll find people with their heads in fridges. Gelatin is made out of bones. That's right. The melted marshmallow in your hot chocolate is melted animal bone. It's good stuff. You have no way of really knowing if everyone experiences reality and consciousness the same way you do. If a panda finds a fresh carcass, they'll eat it. And last but not least, your phone is likely spying on you right now as you're watching this. Yeah, there's a lot more. Like for part 8.
Cover your camera on your phone, bro. You go to sleep.
Myths you still believe about Canada. Canadians see snow year-round. Well, the truth is that though the winters can be harsh, most of the country's population experiences summers that can make a Californian sweat. Most Canadians live near the Canada-US border and thus experience similar weather to what you'd expect in places like Boston or New York. Toronto is the capital of Canada. Well, Toronto does have the largest population and is probably the most famous Canadian city, but it's actually Ottawa, another Ontario city, that's the capital. As the center of political power, Queen Victoria chose Ottawa to be Canada's capital on December 31st, 1857. It was determined that with its location being on the border between Canada East and Canada West, its excellent defensive position and its access to 2 different rivers to cross the country in either direction, Ottawa was the perfect city for the title.
Skinwalker
Okay.
on camera.
The hell is that?
Please pardon the interruption. At this time, we are going to ask that students and staff proceed to conduct an internal lockdown. I repeat, this is not a drill. Please proceed to internal lockdown. 911 has been called. Remain in internal lockdown until instructed otherwise by a uniformed officer.
Okay, guys, I need everybody right away. Back corner and down, please.
And Ohio too. What the hell?
No cell phones?
Get as close to the wall as you can. Crowd it together. Marcus, get this way. Get this way. Get away from the window. Davis, hurry up. Get away from the window. Press up to these desks. Hurry up. Guys, grab these desks.
Where's Skinwalker at?
Feminine things that were originally made for men. In Persia, men wore high heels to protect their feet. Then the Europeans looked and said, let's use them too, but they did it to show that they were rich, powerful, and masculine. In their culture, the higher the heel, the more masculine you were. Bags were also made exclusively for men. This is the oldest bag ever found made for men. It is entirely decorated with dog teeth because that was the fashion of the time. A system very similar to the disposable pads we have today was originally used in World War I to stop soldiers from bleeding. That's when a nurse noticed and thought, we can put this in our underwear and we no longer need to use rags as pads. Skirts were originally worn by men throughout the history of the world.
A killer clown.
I never knew that. Our reality's blown wide open. If you would have said high heels were made for men first, I wouldn't have believed you. We learning today.
Clown was just released from prison in Florida. This case dates back to May 26, 1990, when 40-year-old Marlene Warren opened her front door. In front of her was a clown holding balloons and a basket of flowers. Marlene stated, "How nice," before the clown fatally shot her in the mouth, then calmly walked away. Authorities suspected 26-year-old Sheila Keene for years, who was having an affair with the victim's husband, Michael. But unfortunately, there wasn't enough evidence to convict her. 12 years later, Michael and Sheila wed in Las Vegas, moved to Tennessee, and started running this burger joint called the Purple Cow. They lived happily as if nothing happened, and Sheila even had the audacity to dress up as a clown one year. But in 2014, Florida authorities received a grant that allowed them to reopen the case. Advances in DNA technology allowed them to test a brown hair at the crime scene. It belonged to Sheila Keene, who was finally arrested in 2017 and pleaded not guilty. But after 7 years in jail, prosecutors gave her a deal in April of 2023. In exchange for pleading guilty to second-degree murder, she received a 12-year sentence. A Florida law allowed credit for good behavior, and that is why she was released on November 2nd of this year.
Here's a test to see if you or someone you know has thalassophobia. Thalassophobia is the fear of deep or open water. Starting off at level 1, we have this image, and if you look at the baby's feet, you can see there's nothing. And that's what freaks people out, the fact that you can't see anything but feel like there's something watching you from below. If this freaked you out, don't watch the rest, because level 2 is even worse. Level 2, we have a person falling into a huge open body of water. And to make it worse, there's some sort of squid-like creature right in the corner. At level 3, we have the worst one yet. A person floating above a huge snake-like creature that we have no idea how big it is. And if you made it this far, congrats. Make sure you send this to a friend to see if they can pass the test and hit the follow button for more.
Maps will change the way you see the world. This map shows if your county has a McDonald's or not. If you're in a red county on this map, then you do not have a McDonald's, and there are 793 counties without them. This map shows the average weekly grocery bill across each state in the United States. Wisconsin has the lowest because Midwest states have the most farming around them. Hawaii and Alaska are the highest because of their isolation from the mainland food production. This map shows how fertility rates have decreased across the entire United States over the last 20 years. Louisiana had a tiny 0.3% decrease, while Utah had an over 30% decrease in fertility. This map shows the most common transportation methods in the United States to get to work. Most people in the United States are in a green county where it is driving alone. Orange counties are where people walk the most, yellow counties are where people take taxis or motorcycles more, and the red counties are public transportation counties, which is just San Francisco and New York City.
How I get to work, bro? Walk, driving, public transportation. I walk, bro. I'm a walker.
Everybody's talking about this new horror movie. It's awesome. Let's watch. I haven't watched it tonight. This movie is so scary. I promise.
This is a serial killer you haven't heard of that has more victims than Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, and Jeffrey Dahmer combined. The Sunday morning slasher. Carl Eugene Watts targeted mostly young, attractive women walking alone in the dark. He would stab, slash, strangle, and drown them. Watts told a psychiatrist that they had evil eyes. And it wasn't enough to murder these women, he had to kill their spirits too, by burning personal items or tossing them in a sewer. His first victim was 19-year-old Gloria Steele, a mother and college student who was stabbed 33 times in her apartment. Michigan authorities knew he was responsible for dozens of murders, but they never had enough evidence to convict him. In 1982, Watts fled to Texas and resumed his murders, killing at least 12 more, including the youngest victim, 14-year-old Emily Lacroix. Now let's get to the moment he was finally caught. On May 23, 1982, Carl Watts choked Lori Lister until she was unconscious, then dragged her up the apartment steps. He used her keys to open the door and came face to face with Lori's roommate, Melinda Aguilar. Melinda was choked by Carl Watts as well, but this time she pretended to black out. He bound her hands behind her back and put her in a separate bedroom, while he filled up a bathtub where he planned to drown Lori Lister. With her hands still bound behind her back, Melinda quietly locked the bedroom door and proceeded to jump off a second-story balcony, where she yelled at a woman who was drinking coffee outside to call police. Unfortunately, Texas prosecutors offered immunity to Watts for the 13 murders he confessed to, in exchange for a 60-year sentence. Oddly enough, he was almost released from prison in 2006, but Michigan authorities were able to convict him of 2 murders before that could happen, and he died in prison in 2007 from prostate cancer.
Creepy facts that'll give you nightmares. When
justice.
anglerfish mate, the male literally fuses itself into the female and the two live together as one fish for the rest of their lives. I'm kinda concerned as to how we know this, but if you feed a human body to pigs, they eat every last bit of it. There's a place near Mexico City called the Island of the Dolls. This place is home to thousands of dolls that are there to honor a girl who drowned in the 1950s. Many people say that this place is one of the most haunted places on Earth. And finally, this is Mike the chicken. After Mike's head got chopped off, he somehow managed to live a full 1.5 years headless.
Fast
Facts about the ocean that are scarier than any horror movie. First up, I bet you didn't know that you can literally melt in the ocean. Because in the deep sea, there's something called hydrothermal vents that can reach up to 750 degrees Fahrenheit, which will allegedly cause your body to melt. But by then, you probably wouldn't even notice because all your bones would have likely been crushed by the pressure. The next fact is honestly even scarier to think about. You know how we have so many scary stories about sea creatures, like sirens, the Loch Ness Monster, or giant squids? Well, a lot of the creatures that used to be just a story are slowly being discovered as real. For example, the giant squid, which scientists found were not only real and over 59 feet in length, but are also cannibals. If that's not bad enough, here's more. Because the ocean is basically a giant graveyard. In 2014, researchers diving into an underwater cave in Mexico found the remains of a girl estimated to be 13,000 years old, meaning there's a high likelihood that if you go missing or drown that you would probably never be found. There's also 10 million viruses in every drop of seawater, meaning viruses in the ocean outnumber all of the stars in the Milky Way. The actual number is estimated to be 1 nonillion, which is a number I've never heard before, but here it is written out. That itself makes me never want to go swimming in the ocean again. Follow for more. Photos.
What the hell? One nonillion? Learn new stuff every day, man, watching these videos with you guys. As I said, tap in with us. Those facts about the sea, those are just scary. I can't believe there's more viruses like in the sea than there's stars in the Milky Way. If you think about it, that's freaking mind-blowing. 1 million. We love our land.
Lots of people before and after they went missing. Number 1, Riker Webb. Riker Webb went missing and was found 4 days later on his own in a completely rural area. Number 2, Brenda Heist. Brenda Heist went missing for 11 years. Daughter, family, everybody sent search parties looking for this woman, and 11 years later she turned up looking like this. Steve Carter. Now this is an interesting one. Steve Carter was searching an online forum when he came across a missing child case. He realised that the child was him. Imagine finding this out online as a grown adult. If you like anything weird, scary or a little bit creepy, please support my channel by giving me a follow.
That last story.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 19. Facebook was forced to shut down 2 artificial intelligence robots named Alice and Bob because they started communicating with one another in their own language. If you ever win the lottery, you're 120 times more likely to be killed by an immediate family member. A sloth has nipples in its armpits. In the 17th century, there was a man named Tare who could eat his entire body weight in just one sitting. And despite being pretty skinny, he would swallow live animals, eat human corpses, and was even accused of eating the body of a 3-year-old toddler. An 11-year-old boy named Konarak escaped Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment, but was later returned to Dahmer by police, and he killed the boy just 30 minutes after. It's commonly believed in religion that angels look like this, but according to the Bible, they actually look like this.
6 things you didn't know.
Those things we learn, seekers, man. Especially about the part about the winning the lottery. I didn't even know that was a known statistic, known fact. It goes to show you, seekers, man. Once you get that money, you instantly become a target, man. It doesn't matter if it's friend, family. You just gotta watch out who you be around because you're the target. You're the biggest, I guess, threat in the room. Damn. I think about that guy who can eat his whole body weight in the city. It's old stories, man, that I'm just not hearing.
Know about the pocong and where you can find them in Singapore. Before we start, let's talk about the story behind the pocong. Pocong is one of the most infamous ghosts in Malay mythology. Pocong is the soul of a deceased person who is doomed to roam the earth due to unfinished business. According to Malay funeral practices, the body has to be tied in several places to keep the body intact. When the body is put into the grave, the knots are usually removed. According to Malay belief, the soul usually stays in earth for 40 days. So when the knots are not removed, the soul gets stuck in the body and jumps out of the grave as a pocong. The first thing you didn't know about a pocong is that they can age. If the pocong has a body of a person who died recently, the pocong will look young. And if the pocong has a body of a person who died long ago, the pocong will look old. Number 2, pochongs don't walk, they hop like a rabbit. Since the knots on their feet are not removed when they are buried, they can't walk, so they hop. Sometimes they even roll around in the ground. Number 3, pochongs are also known as vampires because they love to drink blood. They do so to absorb the life force of a person to feel more energetic. Number 4, pochongs have the ability to teleport anywhere, but their most common place is to be under a banana tree. Number 5, the red pochong is the most aggressive kind of pochong. This pochong will attack even without being provoked, and since they are very aggressive, they are known to be the leaders of pochongs. Number 6, apparently if you hug a pochong, you'll have a luxurious life. If you hug a pochong, you might untie their knots, thus releasing their soul. Thus, out of gratefulness, they will reward you with enormous wealth. Most common sightings of a pochong were reported at Bukit Batok, so all you Westsiders stay safe.
Pochongs. Bound to dive deep into that, man.
Interesting facts you didn't know. The last one will shock you. There are only 2 people alive who know the recipe of Coca-Cola, and they aren't allowed to travel on the same plane in case it crashes. Did you know that TikTok knows who has a crush on you? Your secret admirer is the second person that appears when you click on share than WhatsApp. Research shows that most dog owners would rather hang out with their dogs instead of other people. There is no single comment under this video with 0 likes. People who like the smell of gasoline, nail polish, and acetone have a very strong tendency to do drugs. Before passing away, Albert Einstein said a few words in German. The only person to listen was a nurse who didn't speak German. If you comment evil, you will unlock a new secret TikTok emoji. Remember to use the brackets with small letter. There is a species of jellyfish that is biologically immortal. This means that it can theoretically live forever as long as it doesn't get eaten or injured. The world's oldest piece of gum is 9,000 years old, and it was found in Sweden. And now, before the last fact, support us by pressing the plus button for more interesting content every day. The probability of you drinking a glass of water with molecules that have passed through a dinosaur is almost 100%.
10 facts you didn't know that could save your life. If your house ever smells like fish for no reason, 9 times out of 10, it's because there's an electrical fire. If you're in a foreign country and you need to call for help, but you don't know the emergency number, call 112 and it'll automatically connect you to the nearest helpline. If a tornado looks like it's not moving, it's actually moving towards you. If you ever wake up to the smell of gas, don't turn on a light. The spark from the light switch could blow up your entire house. Lying flat on your back is the best way to survive a falling elevator. If your hair ever stands up, duck and cover because you're about to be struck by lightning. If you ever fall off the edge onto the tracks, don't try and crawl back up. There's a crawl space built to go underneath in case this happens. If a deer runs across the road, it's better to hit it than swerve into the ditch. But if it's a moose, then it's better to swerve into the ditch. Because hitting a moose is like hitting a brick wall. Even if you have no service, you can still dial 911. In an emergency, your phone will connect to the nearest tower. If you ever get kidnapped into the back of a vehicle, disconnect the brake light wires so the cops will pull them over. Then kick on the door to let them know that you're there.
Interesting facts. You're gonna have to write those down.
Footage will blow your mind. A Bangkok Airways pilot sat in his aircraft and filmed what looks like dozens of people exiting a plane. Passengers are seen towing their luggage through a connecting bridge, except this jet bridge was empty. It wasn't connected to a plane, leaving viewers completely baffled as to where the ghostly passengers were coming from. The footage is chilling, and hauntingly, the figures appear to be floating, not walking. The pilot posted the video online, and it sparked a debate. Some say this is just an optical illusion. Others believe these figures are ghosts, spirits caught on film. So ghosts or an optical illusion? What do we think?
Ghosts to optical illusions. I mean, there's an optical illusion. There's a lot of people, man. Ghosts? Could be that. Could it be, like I said, an edited video or something? We don't know. Those type of videos, man, it always get to me, though. Those are chilling, bro. Very weird. It's because you don't have an explanation to explain that. You have to dive deep into that one. Anybody who can find out, tell me down below, man. Like I said, Factor Cap.
Scary moments in nature caught on camera.
That's what it said. I don't have a dog. What the hell is that? You don't have a dog. Skinwalker?
Smile Dog is a demon that pretends to be a real dog. Legend says that if you see a picture of Smile Dog, he'll come get you while you're sleeping. And the only way to prevent this is to show the picture to someone else. So send this video to everybody you know. Full story coming tomorrow.
Everyday things you didn't know, the purpose of part 2. 1. The headrest in your vehicle. Although the main reason you have this item in your car is pretty obvious, but there is a hidden use for these that you might need to save your life one day. If you ever get into an accident and can't get out of the car, take the headrest off to break the window with the metal legs. 2. The little hole in your padlock. Many people think this is where the lock could be picked from, but actually, it is only for you to oil up the lock when it starts to get a little rusty and old. 3. The tiny buttons on your jeans. These are known as rivets and they're attached to your jeans at parts that have a high probability of tearing apart from strain or movement. At least, now you will value those tiny buttons and know what's keeping those pairs of jeans in your wardrobe for a longer time.
I've always wondered what those were for.
Let's see if you have thalassophobia. I'm going to show you 5 photos. If you feel too uncomfortable to make it to the 5th photo, then you could have thalassophobia. So let's go. First one. How about this?
Still good.
Feeling uneasy yet? Almost there. Last one. If those images made you feel uneasy, then you may have thalassophobia, which is the fear of deep bodies of water. So let me know if you discovered a new phobia down below.
Crazy did you know fact of other senses to tell when something is wet.
Really?
This video will prove
Thalassophobia. We already proved we don't have it.
fun
Did you guys
facts
pass that?
that might scare you.
Oh, I gotta get in on this. The freshwater snail has parasites attached to it, and when you enter the same water as the freshwater snail, the parasites will seek you out, go inside you, and usually that's fatal. There's a crocodile that's eaten over 200 people, and he's still out there in the wild. Eventually, the sun will consume the entire solar system, and there's nothing we can do about it. This is the largest species of hornet in the world. They're from Japan, they are highly aggressive, they have a very painful sting, and somehow they made their way to the United States. The FDA actually allows a certain amount of fruit flies and fruit fly eggs in some of our food.
Fun fact, in 2021, 43 camels were disqualified from the Camel Beauty Contest at the King Abdulaziz Festival in Saudi Arabia. Handlers will inject the camels' faces with Botox, silicone, and other fillers to make the lips longer and droopier and also make the nose bigger, and handlers will also use rubber bands to limit blood flow to certain body parts to enhance their appearance, as well as injecting the camels with hormones to make the hump larger, rounder, and more shapely. 27 contestants were disqualified for body part stretching, and another 16 were disqualified for having received injections. Camel breeding is a multi-million-dollar industry, and the King Abdulaziz Camel Beauty Contest is no joke, with $66 million in prize money up for grabs. The Camel Club, who organizes the event, have taken a hardline approach on handlers who are participating in unnatural camel beautification. In order to detect cheating, each camel is examined both physically and clinically, x-rayed, looked over with a 3D ultrasound device, and finally, they test the camel's blood and conduct a genetic analysis.
A fisherman just got video proof of the Loch Ness Monster for the first time. Just 3 days ago, a local fisherman from New York named Lucas Steele went out fishing on Lake Ontario, but what he would find that day he'll never forget. He was out on the water as he is every Saturday trying to get a big catch. The biggest fish he had ever caught was a 41-pound Chinook salmon, and he was hoping to one day find 148 pounds, which would break the record. He was fishing for 45 minutes without any luck, but then suddenly something huge caught onto his fishing line. This was a monster of a fish. He battled with this beast for an hour before finally pulling it up. This was a 47-pound Chinook salmon. He was overjoyed and was ready to head back, but suddenly he saw something in the distance that resembled a sea serpent with a long neck and moved quickly through the water. Lucas Steele's interest peaked and quickly turned his boat engine on and moved over the area. He didn't see anything for a few minutes, but then he saw something pop up out of the water. This was the Loch Ness Monster, and it was massive. It was 15 feet tall and at least 50 feet long. He was astonished and quickly took out his phone to take pictures and videos. People Nessie in all caps under this video.
Which of these facts is the hardest to believe? Squirrels lose more than half of the nuts that they hide. Our eyes are always the same from birth, but our nose and ears never stop growing. It will take 1 hour to drive to space. The second person you see when you click share on WhatsApp is your soulmate. Humans have jumped further than horses in the Olympics. T-shirts were originally made for unmarried men who didn't know how to sew buttons on collared shirts. On average, a baby can cost new parents up to 750 hours of sleep. More.
It's true, time gets faster as we age. This graph shows how we perceive time as we get older. According to this, we experience over 70% of our perceived life by the time we turn 21, with everything until age 5 comprising almost 50% of our whole lives. So why doesn't it feel like turning 5 was the halfway point of our life so far? Well, first of all, we don't start forming stable memories until about age 3 to 4, so those years have been pretty much wiped clean. Secondly, as we age, each additional year becomes a smaller and smaller percentage of how many years we've lived so far. So each year that goes by becomes a smaller and smaller sliver of our total lives. For example, at age 50, an entire year is just 2% of your total life. Meanwhile, back when you were 10, 2% of your life was only about 2.5 months. So technically, 2.5 months to a 10-year-old should feel about the same as an entire year would to a 50-year-old. Time doesn't actually move faster as you age. Your brain just has limited storage space. About 2,500 terabytes to be exact, which seems like a lot, but it actually fills up pretty quick considering that we're basically recording a never-ending video into our memories in 16K or whatever resolution reality is. And each year, your brain needs to choose which memories to delete in order to make room for new ones. Meaning, as we age, we slowly forget the most significant memories of our lives, making us feel like we got to where we are today faster than we actually did, while every additional year that goes by feels like a less and less significant portion of our total timeline, causing life to zip by at supersonic speed by the time we hit like 30. Curious to know, what age is your earliest memory from?
Scary moments in me.
Nah, he was spitting. I ain't on I guess how we perceive time as we get older. How it really just goes by. It's like it's more quicker. Cause sometimes I do maybe having to recall, sometimes my earlier memories. It's the earliest memory I could think of. I could really think and go back. See, damn it, it's hard. I'm trying to do it right now. I only have to think. Damn. You was spitting, bro.
Nature caught on camera.
I can't even recall it right now. Because I think I think the earliest memory is probably like when I was maybe like 4 or 5 when we had like a whole bunch, we had a dog and they had like a whole bunch of puppies. I remember going to that room. That's like the earliest memory I can think of right now. The more he said, I'm about to say, the more he was talking in that video, the more it was kind of clicking in my head. Whew, alright. Seekers, if you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're true seekers seeking the truth. I really appreciate that, man. Like I said, I changed the volume for you guys, man. Like I said, so hopefully you guys can hear the video even way clearer now. I'm cutting back on my talking, as you guys can see the past couple of videos. I'm trying to grow this community to something big. I know we can, so thank you guys for sticking with me and supporting the channel. Some changes are coming, man. Like I said, I might come in soon. You guys can catch you in the next video. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.